The skills I've learnt is definitely camera works, Adobe Premiere, Photoshop.
The students come to us once a week and we prepare the food for the canteen, getting the students used to working in a real-life kitchen.
I was lucky enough to get onto the multi-trades construction. I had all the help I needed in terms of getting my CV up to the level it needed to be.
Working in the garage, get to know how it works inside the car.
With tutors, give one-to-one tutoring so that you can know what you need to improve on.
We learn different varieties of styles. Now we're working on a musical. The whole company comes together and we all show what we've learned.
We place huge emphasis on ensuring that our students are career ready. We look forward to welcoming you to become part of our success story.
Hi, I'm Sky and I'm currently studying Level 3 Creative Media Production. The skills I've learnt is definitely camera works, Adobe Premiere, Photoshop, Illustrator, and we're currently learning how to use After Effects. Studying here, there's definitely a great atmosphere. Everyone that comes here definitely on our course wants to work. They all want to be creative, they want to make something of themselves in the industry.
You get to use the cameras. It's not only theory based, but it's also practical. If you want to film some personal stuff, maybe for a YouTube channel, you can just book the studio and book the cameras.
Come and have a look at everything that the college has to offer because there's a lot of great equipment. The teachers are really helpful with anything that you need.
Hello everyone, I'm Tracy Davis and I'm the Vice Principal for Further and Higher Education at London South East Colleges. I'd like to personally welcome you to this virtual open event and thank you for joining us to find out more about the courses that we have on offer. We're delighted that you're considering London South East Colleges for your education and training needs. I'd like to start with a brief introduction to the college, and then I'll hand over to our curriculum experts who will tell you all about the courses we offer within this curriculum area. At London South East Colleges, we pride ourselves on being one unique college with sites across 8 different campuses within the London boroughs of Bromley, Bexley and Greenwich. We have over 1,000 different courses on offer, including vocational study programmes, traineeships and apprenticeships, adult and professional qualifications, and we have a range of higher education courses available within our university centre. With over 13,000 students at college, we have an extensive range of vocational courses through to degree level and professional qualifications. We have something to suit you, no matter what your age, interest or ambition. We also work with over 100 strategic employer partners to ensure our courses are relevant to today's job market. Having the right industry skills for employment has never been so important. The largest of London South East College's campuses is Bromley, which is located just 10 minutes by bus from Bromley Town Centre. Our main Greenwich campus is set on the border of Plumstead and Woolwich. We also have a construction skills campus in Kidbrooke, as well as an adult and community learning centre at Greenwich Park. We have 2 sites within Bexley, our Bexley campus and a specialist construction skills campus at Holly Hill. Located in the heart of the town, Orpington campus is home to our award-winning student-led BR6 restaurant and bakehouse. Our aim is to ensure that you achieve your career goals and fulfil your potential. We'll help you achieve this with our expert teaching staff, industry standard facilities and excellent employer links. Recognised for delivering high quality teaching and learning, and with success rates above the national average, we achieved an Ofsted rating of good with outstanding features in 2019. In the spring of 2017, we were given a QAA rating of confidence for our higher education provision. We have also been awarded the TEF Silver Mark of Excellence for high quality teaching and learning. Studying at London South East colleges will give you far more than just a qualification. We'll provide you with the crucial skills required by employers and universities to give you that all-important competitive edge and make sure that you are the one that stands out from the crowd. Your career really does start here. So that's it from me. I hope that gives you a flavour of what your learning experience may be if you choose to study with us at London South East colleges. It's now time to hear from our curriculum experts. Thank you.
To London South East College's online open day brought to you by Springpod. In this afternoon session, we're going to give you a fantastic insight into how London South East College can help set you up for a great career in the visual arts and media. I am Matt, your host for today's session, which will last roughly about 45 minutes. And I'd like to encourage you to ask as many questions as you'd like throughout the talk. There is a Q&A tab to the side, which makes it super easy to ask any questions that spring to mind. And we'll be doing a question and answer session with the speakers towards the end of the presentation, so they can answer all of your fantastic questions. Without further ado, let's meet our speakers. And we are incredibly lucky to be joined by Mary and Vibeke from the London South East College's Visual Arts and Media team. Good afternoon, guys. Thank you so much for being here with us.
Hello, very happy to be here.
Thank you, Matt. Lovely to see you all. Okay.
You're going to take us through a short presentation to start with.
Yeah. So, my name is Vibeke Fussing. I'm head of faculty at the Bromley campus. Mary is based at the Bexley campus. What I'm going to do is take you through a presentation that gives you an overview of what we offer, mostly at Bromley campus, with some of the Bexley provision included in there as well. And then after I've finished, Mary will talk to you a bit about the visual arts provision at Bexley campus. Okay, so this is the team who are based at Bromley campus. We are all media experienced teachers. We've all had opportunities to work in different fields of the media industry, and that's the skills and expertise that we bring into the provision. One of the things that we're looking at the moment is the changes in the current climate, the changes that are happening to the industries that we teach about. So we're all on top of that, and we're finding out all the new ways of doing things. So Carolina, that's me, Vibeke, Justin, Alan, John, and Vicky. Yeah, that's us. All work well together with a much wider team. So the courses that we offer. So we offer a full range from level 1 right through to level 3, the second year. So the level 1 is for students who are perhaps not quite ready to work at GCSE level, which is what level 2 is the equivalent of GCSE level. And then level 3 is the equivalent of A-level levels, and we have 2 years, so that's a 2-year opportunity. So we have two different pathways on the level 2 and the level 3. One focuses on animation, graphics and gaming, and the other on the film, TV and sound pathway. We've also started a new delivery of a qualification that's called the Foundation Diploma in Esports, and I'll tell you a bit more about that later. Okay, so we also offer art courses at Bromley and at Bexley, and Mary's going to tell you about the Bexley provision. At Bromley, we have 2 art teachers, Jane and Nina, and these are the art courses that they offer. So there's a level 1, a level 2, and a level 3. Each year and each skill level develops from the one previously. It's an opportunity to explore all sorts of different areas in the art and design world. And I'm sure Mary will tell you a bit more about the sorts of things that get covered in art and design courses. I'm going to tell you about, entry requirements. Okay, so at level 2, we sort of expect students to have 4 GCSEs at grade D, or 3, which is the new grading structure, which is what we use now, including English language. Now, the reason for that is that there is a certain level of written work and research that's required that really needs you to have English and a bit of maths at that sort of level. If you haven't managed to achieve the 4 GCSEs, there is the level 1 media course, which is an opportunity to build on your English and maths skills while you're studying media. At level 3, we expect you to have 5 GCSEs at grade 4 or above, including English language, or a BTEC diploma in media at merit or distinction. Still need English language, building on the work that you've done before. Okay, so at level 1, we have an opportunity to do various different projects. A lot of it's group work, but then there's individual work as well. And in the new climate, what we're going to be doing is working out safe ways that students can be working as groups, using modern collaborative tools online as well as face-to-face. So we do adverts, animation, short films, audio products, layout design. Done a few other things as well, which we weren't expecting to do, but we've had this opportunity to explore different media. So there's a lot of trying things out at level 1 and finding out what you really like about the industry. Then at level 2, we build upon that at a slightly higher level. And in the 2 different pathways, you might do in the animation, graphics and gaming, you do graphic design, photography, games testing and production, animation production, digital imaging, and projects like that. You're using industry-specific software, so a lot of Adobe products, but also we've started to discover a lot of online apps and ways of doing things since we've been working from home. The film, TV and audio and sound course gives you the opportunity to do film trailers, poster campaigns, audio media skills. So there's a lot of group work, as you do in the industry, a lot of collaboration on and offline. So those skills are then built up when you get to the level 3 to do all sorts of slightly higher level productions, including looking at social media products, music videos, advertising production, talk and music radio, live TV shows, which is things that they've done, and live streaming of productions. And similarly with the gaming and animation, that's kept at, there's a gaming, animation and graphics at level 3 as well. And then the new qualification, which is an esports qualification, looks at this growing industry, which I am no doubt will be growing a lot as a result of our current situation. So you have an opportunity to progress from this qualification to degrees that will support esports or jobs within the industry. So looking at transferable skills which can be used across all sorts of sports areas and events production. So these are some of the things that you might expect to be looking at doing. Okay, so progression on these courses, they're an opportunity to work your way through media studies from one level to the next, if that's what you're particularly interested in doing, or to try out different areas. There's the opportunity to try film, TV, and to try graphics and gaming and animation. So from level 1, you usually go to level 2, although I've had one student who's jumped to level and gone to level 3 this year. And at level 3, you might want to progress to a degree, higher education, or to an apprenticeship. But we incorporate into the courses ways of exploring what opportunities are available to you, so we'll help you to decide what might suit you best. At Bexley, similarly, there's level 2 and level 3 media, and level 3 has a pathway to games and animation and has the same entry requirements as we do at the Bromley. So these are some of the examples of things that would be expected to study at Bexley. Music video, full production pipeline, music video, factual programming, compositing, audiobooks, page layout, concept for computer games, 3D modelling, which is an exciting opportunity, 3D animation, computer game story development, and 3D printing, which is a good chance to try that one out. So with all of these courses, there's an opportunity to continue studying your English and maths, depending on how far you've got with your GCSEs. The government's made a big priority of English and maths, so it's a very important opportunity for you to continue to study English and maths whilst you're doing your media subject, and an opportunity to redo your GCSEs and get a better grade if you haven't got the grade that you were expecting to get, and you will resit that. Some students may start at functional skills and then build up through GCSE. Okay, the fun bits. All through the courses, we offer media-specific trips for students to go out and experience what it's like in the industry in various parts of media. So we've got some examples. Last year, we've been to see Sky, BBC Media City in Salford. We've gone to newspapers, looked at video installation in North France, photography trips, higher education institutions. We make sure that the trips that we go on are supporting your learning and an opportunity to explore the industry and find out more about it. Our facilities at Bromley, we have a TV studio that's been set up and ready to do streaming of live events, as well as multi-camera setup and single camera setup. We also have an audio booth, which is an opportunity to do sound recording in a professional environment. All of these things, we are currently working on safe working practices in terms of health and safety and the situation we're in at the moment. So we are hoping to continue using that as safely as possible, but also in the process, we'll be teaching you how to work safely as the industry is changing. Now, all of the teaching staff are aware that the industry is changing fast and the way we do things is changing. So we will all be supporting students to make sure they're up to date with the skills and the techniques that are currently being used in the industry. And this is about how to apply. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to pass you on to Mary, and the online application will be gone over later. Okay, over to you, Mary.
Hello, hi everybody. So I'll just talk you through the arts offer that we have at Bexley. We offer art and design courses and photography courses, and we do those from level 1 through to level 3. So I'll just move through these for you. Okay, this is our courses. So we have a level 1 in vocational studies, which is a year course. That's a bit of a mixture, the level 1. You get to study a bit of media, a bit of arts, and a bit of IT with that as well. So if you're not sure what you want to do, or if you haven't got any GCSEs, then that could be the course for you. We also do a level 2 art and design. That's the BTEC extended diploma in art and design practice. So that's a full 1 year immersive art and design course where you get to build on what you learnt at school. We then go on to level 3. This is where we start to offer photography at level 3. So we have level 3 diploma in art and design practice and a level 3 diploma in art and design practice photography pathway. So those are both for a year as well. And those progress on to year 2, which is the extended diploma in art and design and the extended diploma in photography. So entry requirements, I think, are next. The entry requirements are going to be the same as what Vivica has just told you for the courses. So just depending on the level, they'll always be the same. So I'll just very quickly run through that. So no entry requirements for level 1, but you will have to take an English and maths test. Level 2, you need 4 GCSEs at grades 9 to 3 or A star to D. Or a level 1, if you've already done a level 1 in something else, that would be okay. And then level 3, you need 4 GCSEs at grade 9 to 4, including English and maths, or having done a level 2 qualification already, which would most likely be in a related subject. And then progression on to year 2 is just about having successfully completed your year 1 level 3 course we'd like you to get a merit grade, and we'd like to see that your attendance is good and you're well committed, which I'm sure you would be anyway. So those are the same. Moving on, so this is us, the huge team, a couple of delightful mug shots there of myself and John, so that those are our worst faces. So if you can handle those faces, then you'll get on with us just fine. Okay, so I'm going to talk a bit about work experience, because we focus quite strongly on work experience with the courses. What we do is a variety of projects, certainly from level 2 and level 3 arts and photography courses, and we tend to make what you're doing in class an extension of a work experience opportunity. So, for example, what I've done is put in a few images of some of the work experience that we've done this year, and obviously though that involves the students having made work and taken part in it. So I'll move on to that. So this was some really good projects that we did last year. This slide here on the left is Greenwich Market. So I expect you've all heard of Greenwich Market, and you can see the students there are selling things that they made. So very exciting. They made beautiful silk screen prints and mounted them and packaged them, and they made silk screen printed t-shirts, and they had a fantastic stall around Christmas at Greenwich Market, and it was really good fun. So that was a real concept design, creating through to marketing and selling experience for budding artists of all varieties. And then you've got a photograph there of the photography students being the professional photographers for the Eco Fest, which was something else that we did with all of the groups. That took place in Belvedere last year, and hopefully that will get up and running again as soon as it's able to, and we will certainly take part. So this is what level 2 made for the Eco Fest. They made these beautiful signs. They're absolutely fantastic. So everybody got to make one of these signs, and there they are being used in situ for everybody to see. So that was really fun, something else that we did. So it was work experience and making. And I've just put in a shot here of our end of year exhibition. So all of the art and design students will be working towards having a fantastic art show at the end of the year, be that this is when we were able to do it in reality. Moving forward, we might end up doing it virtually. We're certainly having a virtual one this year, and there's many exciting technologies that we can explore, as Vivica just talked about, to make that a really good experience. And you'll certainly be keeping up with the rest of the art world if you do that. Okay, so very briefly, any of the courses that you do, if you haven't already got your English and Maths, you will be taking English and Maths alongside. Very important, I'm sure you'll agree, part of your study programme. And then just to finish off, I hope you'll apply. If you've got any questions, then I'll be really happy to answer them for you, and I hope to see you in September.
Fantastic.
That's about it.
Fantastic. Thank you so much, Mary and Vivica, for those presentations. We have had quite a few questions come in, which is brilliant. So let's get cracking with some of these. I think the first question we've probably answered just now with your presentation, Mary. Somebody asked, if I don't have GCSEs, am I still able to do a level 1? And am I right in saying the answer is yes, as long as they're able to also do their English and Maths?
Yes, we'll do an English and Maths test on entry, which everybody will do anyway, unless you already have your English and Maths GCSE. So yes, absolutely, there will be a course that you can do. We will match you to the level.
Brilliant. And then another question here, specifically about art and design in art. Somebody would like to know what are the sort of subjects that are on offer if they're looking to do art design type activities.
Well, I would say art and design all the way. So art and design is a very broad programme. I should have said a bit more about that actually. We study general art and design, and we look at all the different applications and where it exists in the world, and how you can explore career pathways into all of those industries. So it's very diverse. So certainly art and
And,
design, definitely.
At Bromley campus, you'll get the opportunity to try, I'm sure it's the same at Bexley, opportunity to try things like printmaking, textiles, drawing, painting, 3D design. You have an opportunity to do a broad range of different art and design activities so that you have tasters of everything and you can start to get a feel for where your passions lie and where you'd like to develop it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Awesome. I think that's one of the things that maybe stands out most when it comes to the art and visual package on offer at London South East Colleges. There's so much that you can get hands-on experience with, which is fantastic. We saw some of those brilliant facilities as well. And if you want to find out more about those facilities, then there are 360 virtual tours on the SpringPod website. So I definitely recommend people checking those out as well. So yeah, definitely seems to be a lot on offer for people to get some experience, trying their hands at stuff, which is obviously really important. And somebody's actually asked a question here, sort of on the topic of different experiences and how experiences are likely to help them with their studies. They asked, will a YouTube channel help with my progression from level 1 to level 2? Is that the sort of thing that would help their development?
Absolutely. That's the sort of passion for the media that we are very excited to find out about and to develop. Yeah. Instagram, YouTube, all sorts of things that people have got already, it all helps to build on those skills, and for you to share your experience with other students is superb.
Fantastic.
Yeah, same for art as well. Yeah.
Awesome. I mean, I guess with a lot of that stuff, the Instagram and YouTube, it's more positive experiences to get that's going to help you when it comes to the classroom and stuff as well. So definitely YouTube, give it a go. It's worth trying out and learning some new skills with. We have another question about, in particular, graphic design and photography and the sort of, I think, tasks that you could expect on the graphic design and photography courses.
So Mary,
Okay.
do you want to...
We don't. Yeah, sure. We don't do a specific graphic design course at Bexley, although we do cover graphic design at level 2, and certainly at level 3 you're open to be able to make work in whatever medium you want to. So if you were interested in graphic design, we would definitely support you to create your work. We have facilities that you could use. And what was the other part about photography? What sort of things do you do for photography? Yeah. So photography, you'll explore digital and analog processes for photography. Obviously, at the current time, most people work in digital photography. But if you're interested in being an artist photographer, then you certainly might want to explore a range of mediums. We encourage you to be very experimental. You're given kind of real life briefs to do as much as possible. And it's just basically getting out there, taking photographs, understanding how others make work and how they communicate, and developing your own skills. And we support, it's very much about supporting people individually, because not everybody wants to do the same thing. Some people want to do journalistic photography, some people want to do fine art photography. So that's very much our approach.
I just say something about the animation, graphics and gaming is an opportunity to not only do art design for game design, but other aspects of graphic design, and using all the industry standard software and exploring design briefs and learning skills and exploring all the things that you can do and developing your skills and expertise in those areas. There was something that there's all the media subjects and the art and design incorporate so many different techniques that photography can be used across all of the areas, photographic skills, filming skills, and also the graphic design skills in terms of the software that's used and designed for screen as well as and animation and gaming. So loads of opportunities to try out all those different things.
Mm-hmm.
Fantastic. Awesome. So another question here. Somebody is wanting to know a little bit about what their first day might be like. So I think we've done a good job of already interesting them in joining, which is fantastic. So what would they maybe be looking to expect on their first day on campus?
Well, I think what I'd like to say at the moment is we are strongly considering putting a large amount of the teaching online at least to begin with, so that everyone can stay as safe as possible. So as part of the beginning of that, we will be doing what's called scaffolding, where we show the students what sort of interfaces we're going to be using for the online learning. So where your logins are, what you might be using different aspects for, especially in terms of collaborative work, because you'll be working in teams for a lot of the projects. So you'll be learning the skills and the tools that you'll be using to communicate with the other students who are working on your projects with you. So the plan is at least 50% of the delivery will be online, and you will have the support of all the teachers there online at set times, so that if you've got questions or you get stuck, you've got somebody to talk to. And the lessons will be delivered to a great extent online, and that's also going to reflect the industry and how things are happening in the industry. So that doesn't mean it'll all be online. There will be some face-to-face aspects, and we're working at the moment on developing how those can be done as safely as possible and to reduce as much public transport exposure for students and staff. So we're working on it, and we're looking forward to meeting you in September, actually.
Excellent. Another question here about 2D animation. So somebody asks, what is on offer for 2D animation in terms of maybe things like flash animation or hand drawn? What were they able to get their hands on at London South East College?
It's up to you. So whatever you want to do, try it out, and we will support anything as much as possible. We did do some experimentation with Adobe Character Animator last year, where you can act to screen and it will follow your eye movements and mouth movements. There are all sorts of apps and software that you can use, including the old-fashioned stop motion and hand-drawn animation, and will allow you to explore whatever you're really passionate about, and we'll support you in that.
Awesome. Excellent. We've got a question here about I guess what you need to get onto the courses. So someone asked, do I need to have a portfolio to be able to apply for these courses?
Usually we would expect to see a portfolio. Given the current circumstances, we're very pleased to see anything you can share with us. So usually we would interview you and with a portfolio for the art and design, and perhaps you might bring your Insta or your YouTube channel to us, or a website to show us on the media area. But at the moment, we just want to know that you're interested enough, you've got the entry criteria, and you're passionate about media studies, and you want to keep working and learning in that area. So we're not going to ask you to drag a portfolio on a bus to the campus.
Yeah, that definitely makes sense. And another question here about applying. Somebody asks, what sort of knowledge do I have to have in relation to media before doing a level 1? Would I be able to do it without not really having any knowledge in the subject, or do I need to have some previous sort of expertise?
Well, you probably need to know what you're letting yourself in for, so I suggest you have a look at the website and just see what sort of projects that are going to be run and whether that's going to interest you. If you look at it and it looks boring, then don't bother. If you're interested in it and you want to find out more, then come and join us.
Excellent. Another person asked, obviously with the entry requirements, does it help if you have a background in art or science to be able to enter level 2? Do you need those two, or is it fairly open and on a sort of individual basis?
It's well, certainly is. Yeah, it's open and on an individual basis, as long as you have the right amount of GCSE grades, or you've done a level 1 course in a related subject. Then we can just have a chat and make sure it's right for you. So you wouldn't necessarily have had to do it at GCSE, no. If that answers the question.
Okay, yeah, perfect. And we have a question here in regard to, I guess, the work that individuals will be doing on these courses. Obviously, we mentioned a lot of project-based stuff, and somebody would like to know, is it all sort of team-based, or are there also individual projects that people will be doing? What's the sort of split between team and individual assignment, I guess?
It's a
most
mixture.
of the work, yeah, I would say the majority of your work will be individual work that you produce, and the kind of team projects certainly that I showed you were, you know, they're not all the time. That was 2 or 3 times in the year. Most of the time you're working, and you're still working on your own work even when you do a group activity. So it is all very much individualized. So yeah, don't worry about that if you're not keen on.
And in media studies, in media studies, there are some very important skills that you learn in terms of working as a team, which reflect how it works in the industry, particularly in film and TV, less so in different areas. So there's an opportunity to try group work, a lot of group work in film and TV, slightly less in art and the more computer-based graphic design type areas. However, we're all working together, and you will be collaborating with other students to support your studies, and plenty of time to socialise with each other as well, and develop your skills together and help each other out.
Excellent. Yeah. I think that's important as well. Obviously, having a good mixture between individual and group work. You know, group work's great for being able to get new ideas of people, as well as, you know, perfect your own technique. So a mixture, I think, sounds really interesting, and probably put you in the best position to learn the most, which is great. We have somebody asking about game software, and specifically what game software is taught on the games courses.
Okay, at the moment we're going to be using Unity for the game design, but we also use a lot of the Adobe Creative Suite products. So, however, like I said, in the current climate, a lot of our students have been discovering apps that they can download to their phones, free software that they can access easily off campus as well. So, world's your oyster. Whatever you want to use, we'll work with you on it.
Excellent. We have a question here about sort of intake sizes. Somebody asked, how many people are usually accepted onto the courses? Is there a set number? Does it depend on the candidates themselves?
Previous class sizes are a bit going to be considered slightly differently at the moment. We would normally expect to have about 26 students joining each class at the beginning of the year. Currently, because of safety precautions, we may be inviting you to come in at different times. So we might be splitting the classes into groups so that there aren't too many people in a classroom at once. So there might be 6 of you who might then do a group project and work together. If you've met, it helps sometimes to do collaborative work online if you've met each other. And we'll be working through the year to following the safety guidelines and working how we can get 26 people doing the same course and working together. So we're working on it, and we will continue to do so just to make sure everybody stays safe.
Excellent. Yeah, that completely makes sense. We have a question here about the level 3 creative media, and in relation to, obviously we mentioned that work experience was a key part of everything to do at London South East College. Somebody wants to know, how much work experience will they need to complete for those level 3 courses?
We have our work experience expert here, I think, Teresa Reardon, was around to help answer questions on the work experience.
I think it's 72 hours, if I remember rightly. That's what we aim for, which sounds an enormous amount, but it isn't. It works out at something like 2 working weeks or something. So it's not very much.
That's at level 3. It's slightly less at level 2. Is Teresa around to answer? No.
Let me have a look. I think she might. I think Teresa is, we've got an answer from Teresa here. She says, on level 1, there is a requirement of 36 hours, and at level 2 and 3, it's 72 hours. So yeah, not a huge amount of work experience that you have to commit to, and any work experience you do is going to be obviously great experience to help you with your course. So it's definitely well worth doing. Let's see what other questions we have here. We have one someone who's looking for, I think, your opinions on what would be a good course fit. So somebody says, I have a huge interest in YouTube, videography and editing. What course would you think would be best for me at the Bromley College?
I'd highly recommend the film and TV pathway, film, TV and sound. With that skills and interest, is an opportunity for you to develop those up to industry standards. So, yeah.
Fantastic. And another person here who has a big interest in graphic design and photography, as well as photography. What might be the best sort of course for someone interested in those two areas?
That's difficult. It's a bit challenging because it crosses art and design and media.
It's sort of in the middle, isn't it?
Graphics, animation, yes. Of course, you have the opportunity to talk to the teachers who can tell you about, at enrolment, to tell you a little bit more about what's going to be offered. Have a look at the website, have a look at the projects that are going to be on offer for that particular course pathway, and have a think about how you would feel about actually studying in those areas for the year. And there is always an opportunity at level 3 to do one subject one year and another subject the year after.
Okay.
So take that into consideration.
Excellent. Okay, and I guess that's probably a conversation that's worth having with the Student Hub team as well. Potentially, we've got their email that we'll give at the end as well if people want to have any more sort of specific questions. And like you said, I think with a lot of the course titles, it's worth looking into the individual stuff that you'll be getting to grips with, because there's a lot on offer, and you might find something under a course title that you wouldn't have even considered before. That actually you look at the projects and they're sort of right up your street.
Yeah.
Excellent. Somebody asks, do I need to interview for any of the courses, or is it all online application?
We're doing online applications this year. So you'll apply online. We'll have a look at your entry criteria, whether you meet the entry criteria for that course. It would be nice to know what you're interested in, whether you have a particular passion, whether you're already working in that area. When the teachers meet you at the beginning of the year, we'll have an opportunity to discuss with you whether this really is the course that you wanted to do. And if you have doubts, we can talk to you about that, whether you want to transfer to a different subject or whether you want to specify maybe putting more effort into some particular area. So you might be passionate about animation and you might want to focus a lot of your projects in that field, for example.
Okay, I think that makes sense. Somebody wanted to know about with the sort of teaching they can expect to receive. Will there be much one-to-one teaching, one-to-one with the student, or is it going to be mostly class-based?
Well, online and face-to-face teaching. It's not private tuition. It's class-based learning, so you will be with the rest of the class, so you'll be studying. Teachers will always reply to you if you want to contact them directly, outside of the lessons, emails, Teams messages, things like that. But we're going to ask you to keep within a framework so that the teachers are not being messaged in the middle of the night, and that we can all work together to make sure that you have the best experience possible. We also have learning support assistants who work very closely with the teaching team to support students who may have specific learning needs and require a little one-to-one to support that the teachers are delivering as well.
Excellent. Somebody has asked, would you be able to explain in a bit more detail the sort of digital technology available in graphic design?
Okay, so mostly we're using Adobe Creative Suite. So you might take photographs and edit photographs in something like Photoshop, which it works on bitmaps, and then you might do illustration in a program like, well, part of the Adobe Creative Suite, you might do vector graphics in Illustrator. And then you might do page layout and design So we'll use a whole range of software so that you are skilled and proficient in lots of different interfaces, but they work very closely together. So you get an opportunity to try out all sorts of aspects, and not least of which is the hand drawing aspect, which underpins a lot of graphic design.
Excellent. Somebody wanted to know about online timetables and when that might be available in terms of, obviously we mentioned that we're trying to move things to online as much as possible with the current climate. When would they have a more detailed idea of timetables and stuff?
Your timetables should be given to you when you've enrolled on the course. So you will be given a timetable of the online and the face-to-face learning when you enroll, which will be at the end of August.
Brilliant. So end of August for online timetabling. Just to go back to 2D animation, somebody wants to know if you're able to study in depth the 2D animation within the art and design courses.
Certainly. Oh, shall I answer that?
No,
certainly,
go on, Mary.
Okay. At level 3, if that was something that you were developing interest in, we could certainly support you to do that as much as you could.
Okay. Yeah. Fantastic. Somebody asks, what would happen if I did badly on the assessment? Would I still be able to? And yeah, what would happen if I did badly on the initial assessment, and how and when would I be able to take it? So I'm guessing they're talking about the assessments for getting onto the courses.
Is this for the English and maths, perhaps?
I believe so, yes. So is there the possibility of retaking those?
I think what the assessment will do is assess what level you're working at. So it's not a right or wrong, it's not a pass or fail. It's an opportunity for the English and maths team to identify which class, which level of subject, which level of studying English and maths you'll be best suited to do from then on for the rest of the year. So it's not a pass or fail. It's an opportunity to help the teachers, inform teachers to say, so they know how to best teach you and support you.
Okay, so maybe not something to stress too much about. It obviously it's there at the end of the day to make sure that the teaching you're receiving is at the right level for the individual learner.
Yeah.
Excellent. We've got a question about the possibility of distance learning, which I think we've already touched on, which is great. And then another question again on graphic design. This person is a graphic design student, and obviously they're wanting to know whether that experience, would they still be able to get into some of the courses here that maybe aren't completely focused on graphic design? Is that experience still going to be helpful for them going on to those courses?
Yes, particularly the gaming, graphics and animation course will certainly suit and build upon any skills that you've already explored in graphic design, and you'll probably be way ahead and given an opportunity to really build on the skills that you've already developed.
Great. And then last question here. Somebody says, I originally applied before Christmas for a level 2 creative digital media. Would I have to apply again if I changed my mind and wanted to do gaming, graphics and animation?
It might be a good idea to complete the online application so that it's up to date. Mm-hmm. And I think what that'll do is supersede a previous application. So apply online.
Okie dokie, fantastic. Well, I think that is just about all of the questions that we've got. So thank you so much for you guys for putting those questions in. And obviously, thank you.
Matt, can I just say that I've just seen there is a question about After Effects. Yes, we use After Effects and Premiere a lot. Okay.
Excellent. Great, good spot, Rebecca. Almost missed that. Well, there we go. We snuck that one in at the end. Thank you so much to Rebecca and Mary for joining me today and for answering those questions. Hopefully, this talk has inspired you to want to study further with London South East College. And as I mentioned before, you can find 360 tours of London South East College on the SpringPod website. They're really informative, so I definitely recommend giving those a watch. If you are already ready to apply, then that's fantastic. You can do so really easily online by visiting www.lsec.ac.uk. And if you have any more specific questions, then feel free to contact our student hub team. simply do so by emailing studenthub@tech.ac.uk. So once again, thank you so much for joining me today, and I hope to catch you in the near future, either on campus or on one of the London South East College's open days later on in the week. Take care, guys. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye.